It's only when someone truly grasps the human experience that four distinct qualities typically emerge. My dear friends, it is through facing hardships and weariness that life truly undergoes suffering, leading to the sweetness that follows exhaustion, and ultimately, achieving freedom. Everyone in life must endure some level of difficulty, whether it's dealing with minor inconveniences or confronting major adversities. Going through these experiences makes you more empathetic and composed in the face of life's challenges. Not expressing complaints about suffering doesn't mean you don't feel the pain. Not actively seeking doesn't imply a lack of hope, and not shedding tears doesn't mean you won't bear scars. Sometimes, what may appear as understanding to others is simply an effort to endure, especially when we are young. When you fall, as a child, you first check if there are people around. If there are, you might cry loudly, and if not, you obediently get back up. As you grow older, when you stumble, you still need to see if there are people nearby. If they are, you get up quickly; if not, you sit quietly and shed a few tears. Early adulthood is accustomed to concealing all emotions. On the path to maturity, if you lack strength, you can lean on someone else. Therefore, when you feel sorrow, bitterness, and exhaustion, you often try to keep it to yourself. Not because you have to be so strong that nobody can surpass you, but because you know that no one can truly sense and comprehend all the pain in your heart. People who have endured much and understand life often exhibit four distinct qualities. Number 1. When one has experienced too much and comprehended life deeply, they often grow quieter after enduring the vicissitudes of life. Understanding the warmth and coldness of the world, people tend to become increasingly silent day by day. It's not that they don't wish to speak, but rather because they know that even if they do, no one will truly grasp their inner world. Thus, remaining silent seems preferable. Individuals who have endured considerable suffering typically become progressively more reticent. This isn't indicative of an inability to engage in conversations but rather a waning enthusiasm for participating in the joys and sorrows of others. They opt to maintain their silence. For many, silence becomes a way of life. Therefore, when someone becomes quieter and less inclined to speak, it's not a matter of compromise or timidity, it's a sign of maturity. In this world, there are numerous listeners but few who genuinely understand. Sometimes, the only person who comprehends your narrative is yourself. When you share it with others, they may not comprehend, and occasionally, they might even perceive you as a jest. So, what's the use in saying anything? As we age, we realize that the world of adults is replete with circumstances we don't favor and choices we don't get to make, but we must go along with them. We experience a sense of powerlessness, yet we can't relinquish our responsibilities. We may desire an escape from these days, but life doesn't grant us that option. All the frustration, suffering, and self-pity are bottled up inside, and we dare not burden others. Even when we shed tears, we must choose the appropriate time and place. Often, the most suitable setting is the bed where we lay our heads. Crying throughout the night when no one else is around, this embodies the essence of understanding for adults. It's not that they lack compassion, it's not that they don't feel pain, and it's not because they possess unassailable strength to surmount all challenges. It's because they fathom that no one pays heed to your silent tears in the midst of the night. No one concerns themselves with how frequently you've been wounded. You're the one tasked with navigating the path and bearing the suffering on your own. Number 2, being true to oneself often means relishing solitude more. After experiencing despair and suffering, people tend to gain a deeper understanding of life and become more loyal to their inner selves, living authentically. Because they've traversed despair, they realize that everything depends on themselves. Having endured much pain, they come to understand that life's most challenging path often requires walking alone. In reality, a significant portion of life is solitary. The only person who can accompany you throughout your journey is yourself. Others may join you for a while, but they are merely part of your journey, and eventually, you must continue on your own. Embracing solitude in various aspects of life is a modern trend. Paradoxically, as individuals grow older, they often find solace in being alone. Why? Perhaps it's because, in the hustle and bustle of modern society, personal space is diminishing over time. With technology and constant connectivity, preserving personal privacy has become challenging. Whether it's work, careers, or social relationships, we must continuously interact with others. Consequently, there are moments when we find ourselves laughing and talking in a group of strangers solely to achieve a certain goal. However, after those moments, there is often no lasting significance. It's only in moments of solitude that we pause to listen to ourselves. There, we can read books, listen to music, watch movies, or simply recline by the window, basking in the warm sun, sipping tea or coffee. Einstein once said, "When I was young, I found loneliness painful, but as I grew older, I discovered how delightful it could be." Indeed, it's quite the opposite of what people might imagine, that creating a clear boundary between oneself and the external world, being alone, and savoring solitude actually make life much more beautiful. In 2013, a report on the eating habits of Americans showed that in 60% of cases, people chose to have breakfast alone, and the probability of having lunch alone was 55%. A study in 2000 also found that compared to the 1980s, American couples ate together less frequently. In Japan, more and more restaurants are offering single seating. You might think that the fast-paced life of modern society leaves little time for communal dining. However, an increasing number of people actively recognize the importance of being alone. Regardless of having friends or a partner, they still crave and cherish private space. In a survey of American adults, 80% believed that periods of solitude played an important role. Of those, 55% considered it exceptionally important. Many are overemphasizing the significance of building relationships and connections, and while these are crucial, many profound and fundamental experiences of human nature happen deep within ourselves. They require solitude as a prerequisite. The public often assumes that someone living alone is pitiful or unsuccessful. They might think that at a certain age, living alone must mean something is wrong with your life. However, in reality, if the loneliness stems from external factors like exclusion or isolation, it's pseudo-loneliness. But for genuine solitude, everyone in it actively experiences, enjoys, and chooses their way of living alone. In that lifestyle, they find freedom to do what they want, to listen to their emotions, to reflect, and to solve their own problems. Number 3, having weathered significant storms, one becomes even more resilient. Life often demands that we navigate through difficulties and hardships, but these challenges continually shape us, making us stronger and more courageous. Those who have endured countless hardships and braved the storms of life have cultivated unwavering determination and an unyielding spirit. They no longer fear rain, wind, or trials because they have confronted and conquered difficulties and adversities. Therefore, no matter what challenges or obstacles come their way, they no longer shy away from them. Instead, they embrace these difficulties with unwavering determination. These two words, resilience and determination, are born from within, emerging as a result of enduring hardships, pushing through exhaustion, and facing life's tempests head-on. Number 4, inner tranquility is often more attainable when facing difficulties. Those who have endured hardship have cultivated a deeper sense of inner calm, enabling them to confront challenges with composure. They can maintain this composure because they understand that most of the difficulties they must endure stem from impulsive emotional reactions. When one's emotions are volatile, it can lead to instability. So, how can one remain steadfast in their interactions with others? When they experience suffering, they come to comprehend that life is not easy, and human existence is filled with challenges. Through their experiences of suffering, they develop a serene inner state. Only through this inner work can they sustain their tranquility. This is how they can bring their fiery temperament under control and utilize it to solve problems. Suffering is akin to a bitter medicine. It's hard to swallow and even harder to internalize. Only by enduring suffering can one transcend it. Individuals who have endured significant pain often become more reserved, loyal to their inner selves, resilient, and composed. Through their experiences of hardship, they gain profound insights and empathy for others. They can perceive the difficulties of life, its warmth, and its harshness. Consequently, they become quieter, more loyal to their inner selves, and live authentically. This is the optimal way to live. Only when a person becomes sufficiently strong, unafraid of rain and storms, unafraid of challenges, and maintains inner calm can they genuinely live in peace and contentment. I wish you a life filled with happiness, positivity, and optimism every day. Thank you. Please subscribe to the channel to hear more content in the future.